we present A Honeypot with Bees On by Alan Downer.
That was a lovely meal, Derek.
It wasn't bad, was it? Even if I do say so myself. Ah, boy, boy. Oh, there's some dessert if you'd like some.
I couldn't. At least I don't think I could. What is it?
I'm thinking of calling it Strawberry Surprise. It's cottage cheese all whipped up with strawberry jam. I saw the recipe in one of the egghead sundaes. I thought it might be right up your street. It looks delicious.
Well, just a mouthful.
It's in the fridge. I'll go and get it.
You are excelling yourself this evening. You must have been very busy.
If it's worth doing properly. Anyway, I know how you enjoy your food.
That's enough of that.
Sorry.
Lord knows I don't need reminding. I feel fat.
You look adorable.
No, I don't. I look fat.
Then I like you fat.
I don't care how you like me. I'm fed up with all this wobble. People are beginning to stare.
You're a strawberry surprise, miss.
I don't want any, thank you. I'm going on a diet, as of now.
Blimey, that was sudden.
I'm going on a diet, and nothing you can say will stop me.
All right, if that's what you want, I wouldn't dream of stopping you. I don't think you're fat. I think you're lovely.
I'm fat. I'd like a cup of coffee.
Okay. Won't be a jiffy. Oh, the kettle has boiled.
Is it instant?
It is. Why?
Nothing. Derek,
Eh?
do you know what I think I'll do?
No?
I think I'll spend a week at one of those slimming farms. Daddy can pay. Prue, you know, Prue Hayden, went to one near Slough a few weeks ago and said it was absolutely marvellous. No food, of course, but steam baths and massage and lots of lovely sunbathing in the grounds. All sorts of things.
Coffee?
Thank you, gorgeous.
My pleasure. Fatso. Here, give me a kiss.
No. Just put some more lipstick on.
What flavour, apricot or raspberry?
I don't know.
Ah, it doesn't matter. You taste nice either way.
Get off or I'll scream. Drink your coffee.
I'd rather kiss you.
Well, you can't. Be your age.
Hey, look, I may be 10 years your senior.
11.
But that doesn't mean that I'm past it. Come here.
Go and drink your coffee. Go on like a good boy before it gets cold.
Marry me.
Do as you're told. Shoo! That's better. I'll speak to Daddy as soon as I get home.
Huh?
About the slimming place, I mean.
You know, I'd rather you didn't go.
You mustn't be selfish. Only for a week.
It isn't that. It just seems wrong somehow.
Why, darling? Everybody goes.
But not at 24, surely.
What's age got to do with it?
Well, in a world where millions are starving, it just doesn't seem right somehow that a healthy young girl like you should pay a great deal of money
It's no more expensive than a first-class hotel.
to starve off a lot of fat that's put on by overeating.
Overeating?
You eat too much. If you're really serious about losing weight, you should be able to manage it on your own, by a simple effort of will.
That's your Welsh Puritan upbringing coming out.
Very likely. I'm sorry. Oh, I know, I'm an old prick.
No, you're not. You're gorgeous. And you're quite right. I'll exercise my will and go on a diet. Tomorrow. Tonight, I'll have just a soupçon of your strawberry surprise.
You're incorrigible. But I love you very much. Oh, well, I think I'll have some too. Pity to waste it.
Waste not, want not.
Exactly.
Incidentally, what's the time?
9:10.
Oh, Lord, is it? Darling, I must go.
Go? Already?
Oh, I'm sorry, honestly. It's just that I've got an appointment this evening with my dressmaking
For what
lady.
time?
9, actually, but she won't mind. She's a most obliging little person.
Yeah, for sure.
She lives just round the corner.
Oh, then I suppose I'd better not keep you.
I'm having a birthday dress made. You wouldn't want me looking shabby on my birthday, would
It's
you?
over a week to your birthday.
I'm having a little dinner party, by the way. You're invited. I promise I'll stay longer another evening. Now, don't sulk.
I'm not sulking.
Could I have my coat, please, or Mrs. Neal will think I'm not coming?
All right. Oh, what do you want for your birthday?
New car.
Oh, no. Seriously.
I don't know. Nothing specially.
Aren't you the lucky one?
Well, don't sound so disapproving.
I simply asked you what you'd like for your birthday.
Oh, anything, I don't mind. A honeypot with bees on.
A what?
A honeypot with bees on. Antique, preferably. I've decided I'm going to start collecting them. They're very pretty.
Well, if that's what you really want.
Yes, it is. I must fly, darling. Bye. Thank you for a lovely evening. The meal was super.
My pleasure.
You don't mind doing the washing up on your own, do you? I'll help you next time.
Oh, when is next time?
Give me a ring in the week. Night.
Well, I'll see you down.
No need.
Yes, I want to pop in and see Tim anyway.
A game of chess. You are an old fogey.
Just a chat.
2 old bachelors together. Night, night. Love you.
Adrienne, marry me.
Yes.
When?
Sometime. Good night, gorgeous. Be good.
Hello, Joe.
Well, 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 come in. Couldn't Adrienne make it?
She had to leave early, had an appointment with her dressmaker.
At this time of night?
Yeah, some woman who lives on the corner, Mrs. Neal or something. Very good and very cheap, I gather.
Trust your Adrienne to have it all worked out.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing derogatory, don't worry. Don't be so much on the defensive. Do you fancy a game of chess?
Oh, no, thanks, no, I've still got the washing up to do.
Uh-huh.
Listen, if you're in one of your that's women for you moods, I'm on my way.
I didn't say a word.
Just because you were unlucky.
I wasn't unlucky. I was uninformed. Nobody warned me. Women are trouble with a capital T, and intelligent middle-aged bachelors should know better than to get involved with them.
I'm not middle-aged.
37 next birthday.
And I refuse to share your cynicism, so let's change the subject.
By all means. But when you drop in, it's usually either to play chess or to talk about Adrienne, since you've turned
Oh,
down
now
the
don't go
former,
on,
I
Tim.
naturally
Look,
could-
you've made your point. Yeah, well, I suppose I do want to talk about it. I don't seem to be able to talk about anything else these days. It's just that things are, well, they're so dodgy at the moment. And the last thing I need is a string of glib platitudes from you.
I gather that you proposed again this evening.
Yes, and she said yes, but not yet.
That's not altogether surprising, you know, how much she loves you. She's got a big future in advertising, a fortune to look forward to, and the family townhouse in SW1 just to be going on with. I don't wonder she hesitates to exchange all that for a 3 up and 2 down in the suburbs and a line full of nappies.
But she said yes. I just don't understand her.
Ah.
Oh, I know all about the proverbial inconsistencies of women and all that jazz. And I'm prepared to put up with the odd whim from time to time. But Adrienne's inconsistencies are so basic. She says she loves me and then refuses to fix our next date. Ring me in the week. I ask you.
You don't know much about women, do you, Derek?
Look, perhaps not, but on principle.
I fear that a man entering the marriage stakes must be prepared to discard his principles. One learns to play it off the cuff, if one is clever. Let's face it, you're a pretty improbable couple.
Do you know what she wants for her birthday?
A jet-propelled yacht? A desert island?
A honeypot with bees on.
A what?
Well, that's what I said. She thinks she's decided to start collecting them.
It's something different, I suppose.
Nah, just another worm, first thing that came into her head. But there'll be a right old chill in the air if I can't get her one. Trouble is, I don't know where the hell to look. I've never heard of the things. And I'm sure I haven't seen any.
You could advertise. Personal column. You know, wanted urgently, honeypot with bees on. You'll probably have them queuing up outside. When is her birthday?
Saturday week.
Oh, ample time.
Well, it'll have to be. On Saturday week, Adrienne Gray Bennett will have a honeypot, or I'll have died in the attempt.
Bravo.
No, I mean it, Tim. If I have to spend my last farthing, she'll get her wretched honeypot. That's what she wanted, and that's what I'm going to give her.
What a nice surprise, Derek. Come in. The housekeeper said you'd phoned. You're just in time for a cup of tea.
Oh, well, I'd love one. I've got a day at the office. Oh, I mustn't stay long, though. I've got a visit to make.
Daddy's out.
I've brought you these.
Chocolates? Are you trying to lead me astray? My diet, remember? I've been hard at it for the last 3 days.
So you really mean it?
Haven't you noticed any difference? I've lost over 12 ounces.
You little tinker.
And I feel thinner. My step is lighter. My thinking's clearer.
Your skin is softer.
Get off. You men have only one thought in your heads. No, seriously, I feel much better for it. And I'm so proud of myself every time I manage to say no thank you to some succulent morsel. So you can just take back your chocolates and bring me some flowers instead.
Done.
Here's your tea. You know, there's something different about you today, too.
I've had my hair cut.
No, nothing like that, silly.
Well, it's just that this honeypot that you want for your birthday...
You've got one? How super! But don't show me. Let it come as a surprise.
Well, yeah, slow down. Look, oh, God, you do jump to conclusions. No, I haven't got one yet. I mean, I've not actually got one.
Oh, why all this subterranean bubbling?
Subterranean bubbling? Well, you make me sound like some powerful new disinfectant you're promoting.
Once a copywriter, always a copywriter.
Each subterranean bubble contains 73 miracle anti-watchets that kill all known germs. Yeah, I know this will make me sound like a funny old stick,
Never.
but I'm going all out after this honeypot. I mean, I'm not just having a casual look around as if it was some ordinary birthday present. I've advertised in the press.
Done what?
Yes, wanted honeypot with bees on, you know. And I've spoken to dozens of people in the trade. Everyone I know is on the lookout. I've practically mobilized London.
It seems an awful fuss over a birthday present. I mean, honeypots can't be all that hard to come by.
Oh, I thought you'd be pleased.
Oh, I am, darling. You're gorgeous. Oh, Derek, guess what? I've got the most tremendous news.
Huh?
The firm are thinking of sending me to America for a year. All the new trends in advertising start there, and they want me to go over and pick up some of the tricks. New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco. How's that for names to conjure with? Isn't it absolutely marvellous?
Frankly, I don't see what more you could have done. I mean, short of declaring a national emergency, one must keep a sense of proportion.
I wanted her to have a honeypot more than anything else in the
Oh,
world.
for pity's sake, Derek, stop being so ardent.
The girl I love made a birthday wish, and I wanted to see that wish fulfilled.
I can appreciate that, but it's not the end of the world.
It was a way of proving my love.
I dare say, Derek, but who were you proving it to? Adrienne or yourself?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. I'll to mind my own business.
No, come on. I'd like
Look,
to know.
marriage is a practical matter.
Yes?
Derek, you're 36. You've got a good job with a reasonable income, a little car, a pleasant flat of your own in a pleasant neighbourhood.
So?
So it's only natural now that you should begin to think in terms of acquiring a wife.
Oh, I'm glad you
Now,
approve.
let me finish. There's one thing above all that you should be absolutely sure of, that Adrienne is the right one for you.
She is.
Are you quite sure of that? You've said yourself you don't understand her. She annoys you. You quarrel.
Well, surely that's perfectly natural.
Well, what about the more basic issues, then? Can you keep her?
Well, not in the style.
Not in the style to which she's accustomed. No, not by a long chalk. Maybe you feel you've a sufficiently exciting, a sufficiently mature personality to compensate for that. Or perhaps you plan for her to go on working.
Well, damn it, she wants to.
Right. And what about the running of the home? Who'll do the cooking, the shopping, the washing? Will you mind coming home most evenings to an empty house, getting your own supper? Do you want that kind of married life, or, what's more to the point, does she?
It needn't be like that.
Look, Derek, do you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid that what you're in love with is the idea of marriage. Deep down, you're the sort of man who likes to conform. You want to have a wife like all your contemporaries. You want to have kids to wheel about. You want a cloak of cosy domesticity. Fine, great, all perfectly natural. Then life suddenly and obligingly presents you with a stylish, gift-wrapped model with a yen for a father figure.
Oh, look, don't you work your bitterness off on me, friend. Your marriage wasn't a success, all right. Well, some people are better at marriage than others, so just don't take your hatred of women out on me.
I do not hate women.
No? Well, everything you've ever said about them, everything you ever said about Adrienne has been destructive. So, a woman ruined your life.
That's not true.
Isn't it?
It's not true, and it's not that simple. Listen, Derek, let me tell you about Eileen. Now, please,
Sure.
I'd like to. We loved each other. We just loved to be together. The outside world simply ceased to exist. The first years of our marriage were idyllic. A baby arrived. Little Melanie was a wonderful kid. Then things began to go wrong. Little things. Eileen lost a lot of weight. The birth had been a difficult one, and she didn't seem able to regain her strength. Her nerves began to play her up. Well, little things. When Melanie was 8, she got polio. Even so, things could have been worse. The paralysis wasn't extensive. It was just her leg. So I started to work on at the office in the evenings, after everybody else had gone. I couldn't face going home. I couldn't face the need in Eileen's eyes. Even her thinness was an accusation. And Melanie. I thought if only I didn't have to go into that awful bedroom with the bunnies round the wall and that poor frightened kid not understanding. I should have had the strength, but I didn't. I loved them. I love them both. But I've failed them both. Eileen appealed to me to stop working late. So I did. But I didn't go home. I couldn't. Do you know where I used to go?
No?
Bookshops. I used to browse round bookshops. Second-hand ones, mostly. There was one place that used to stay open specially for me. The owner used to have the kettle boiling ready. Cups of strong tea just for the two of us. Of course, it was in his interests. I never failed to buy. So Eileen left me for someone who could cope. And she took Melanie with her.
Glass of whiskey?
Please. So, you see, it was my fault, though I suppose blame is academic. I'm not bitter about women, Derek, but I do know a bit about marriage. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm grateful, Tim. I'd like you to know that. Since we're indulging in confidence, I've written a poem to Adrienne. It sums things up more completely than anything I could say. It's called There Is a Change in Me. I'd like you to hear it.
Far away.
There is a change in me. I smile, but then I've always smiled. There's nothing new in that. I've smiled to see the poodle in the clouds, or at the racing cork unbottled in the river, buoyant. No premium on smiling. So in what way have I changed? I have become a smile. A heavy smile, perhaps. Heavy with having and with the dread of loss. Heavy with the incredulity of having come upon this, oh, so fragile crock of gold, without even having searched for a rainbow. With having breathed for an instant this timid scent upon the wind. With having felt between my fingertips the touch of a butterfly blessing. I have become a smile. Forgive the heaviness, my love. I have become a smile.
That's very beautiful.
I love her, Tim. And I'm not blind to her failings.
Someone at the door.
At this time of night?
Perhaps it's the rolls to take you to the party.
That'll be the day. Come in, won't you?
Thank you. It is a bit chilly.
This is my friend, Mr. Walters, Mrs.
Neal. Pleased to meet you.
How do you do? Shall I...
No, don't go, Tim. No. What can I do for you, Mrs.
Well, I've come about the honeypot. I think I may have what you've been looking for. It's quite a nice one. Antique. Used to belong to my mother. There. Nice, isn't it?
Well, you've been sent from heaven. Hey, Tim, did you ever see anyone more like an angel?
Oh, I don't know.
It's an absolute miracle. Look, how much do you want for it? Just name your price.
Well, it's a bit difficult, isn't it? I mean, I've no idea what they're worth. It's got a sentimental value for me because it was my mother's.
Oh, I see.
I use it every day, you know. Tea time, out comes the old honeypot. I've shed a few tears over it, I can tell you. Silly, really, I suppose. My husband and I have talked it over, and we thought, how would £1 be?
£1?
Is that too much?
My dear lady, it's worth much more than that to me. If only you knew.
Mrs. Neal, how did you know that Mr. Hanson was looking for a honeypot?
Well, he advertised, didn't he?
Under a box number. How did you know where to call?
Oh, surely that doesn't matter, Tim. Good. Look, I'll pay you a £5, if that's all right, Mrs. Neal. Mrs. Neal?
Yes, that's right. Oh, it's all right, Mr. Hanson. There's no mystery, really. I do a bit of dressmaking for Miss Gray Bennett. She's a lovely girl, isn't she?
What has Adrienne got to do with this?
Well, I've been making her a birthday dress, and she called this afternoon for a final fitting. That always takes time. Round about 4 o'clock, we got a bit peckish. So out came the honeypot, and we had a bit of toast.
And Adrienne asked you for the honeypot?
Well, she said how she admired it, like, and that she was thinking of starting a collection, and
Did you?
she said she felt sure that if I brought it round, you'd give me a good price for it.
Did you know how much it meant to you?
I did tell her. Oh, she was so eager, I didn't like to refuse her. She's got a lot of charm, hasn't she? People like that usually get what they want.
Yes. Mrs. Neal, it's very kind of you, but I've no intention of depriving you of your honeypot.
Oh, are you quite sure? Adrienne said you needed it.
Yes, well, I thought I needed it. Now I find that I don't.
Oh.
Oh, but that doesn't mean I'm not grateful to you for coming.
Won't she be disappointed?
I dare say she will be. Well, look, I'm already late for her party, so if you'll excuse me... I'll see you out, Mrs. Neal.
Oh, good night, Mr. Walters.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson. I'm very grateful.
Oh, but pour yourself a drink, Tim.
Right.
And set up the chessboard. I rather fancy I'll be back from the party a little earlier than I anticipated.
You're late. Come on in. Where have you been?
Is there anywhere we can talk?
Darling, we're waiting to start dinner.
In private.
Oh, you're very mysterious. Come into the drawing room. Is it about the pot? Where is it?
Did you know that Mrs. Neal's honeypot had been left to her by her mother?
I think she did mention it.
That's what I thought. You don't give a damn, do you?
What?
People's feelings mean nothing to you. If there's something you want, you don't stop until you've got it. Did it occur to you that that honeypot meant something to Mrs. Neal? Or did that thought amuse you?
No.
Then did it occur to you that you were making me look a complete idiot for getting her to bring it to me after the lengths that I went to? Do you think that I've got no pride at all?
I don't know really what you're going on.
So in answer to your question, I haven't brought you Mrs. Neal's honeypot. I gave it back to Mrs. Neal. It matters to her.
You've been drinking, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Well, you're getting things out of perspective.
Oh, no. I'm seeing things in perspective for the very first time. When will you realize that it's not all just a game organized for the benefit of Adrienne Gray Bennett, huh?
Derek!
And please don't interrupt. You use people, you know. You suck them dry. And then you ditch them just as you're doubtless planning to ditch me now and go off to America. All take and no give, that's you.
Oh, but I...
And I fell for you hook, line, and sinker. Oh, I worship the ground you walked on. You only had to blink those big eyes and whisper the word gorgeous, and I stretched out on the ground all ready to be trampled on. Yes. What an idiot I was. Prezi for Adrienne, and out would come my wallet. Did it ever dawn on you that I couldn't afford it, huh? I had a bank balance when I met you, and now I've got sweet nothing.
You're sounding more Welsh every minute.
And I'm not ashamed of it. It's time you stopped measuring people by their backgrounds and their incomes and their accents. That's not what counts. And you can't measure love in terms of honeypots. You love a person for what he is, or not at all. Yes, all right, I'm 36, and I'm Welsh and pedantic and cheese-sparing, and I'm just as highly strung as you are. You've driven me into a frenzy these last few months, and I haven't said a word, but don't think that's typical. I can be as irritable and pig-headed as the next man, don't you worry. You've been spoiled for far too long. What you really need is a good smack bottom. And I'm just in the mood to give it to you, too. So you better get back to your plummy-mouthed guest and have a good old chuckle. I'm off home for a game of chess. You know where you are with chessmen.
Derek,
Yes?
don't go, please. I'd like you to stay, if you want to. Everything you've said is true. You're quite right about the honeypot. I just didn't think. I'll apologize to Mrs. Neal in the morning.
Well, I should think so, too.
You don't know how glad I am that you gave it back to her. I don't think I could have gone on loving you if you had accepted it on those terms. And I do love you. I think you're the nicest person in the whole world. And as for America, I'm not going.
Well, you'll have to draw in your horns, you know. There'll be lots of things we can't afford.
Honestly, I'm good at saving when I really try.
Well, you better start trying.
And when I'm selfish, you must kick me.
It'll be a pleasure. I love you, Adrienne.
And I love you more than I can say. Mustn't forget it's my birthday. The guests are waiting. Shall we join them?
Why not? I hope they brought you some decent presents.
That was Wendy Gifford and Glyn Houston in A Honeypot with Bees On by Alan Downer. Production was by Keith Williams.